Hey everybody, happy Saturday. It's Dave Neal here with an update in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case that's happening. We've got a premiere last night. Blake Lively attended for her movie Another Simple Favor. If you could give me another simple favor, hit the subscribe button and make sure you get alerted to all of my content. We got another video coming after this. It's going to be pretty juicy as the smear campaigns continue. But here it is. I've got the protester, what the protester had to say, and why this article says Anna Kendrick delivered a shady response about reuniting with Blake Lively for Another Simple Favor premiere. I'm going to let you guys decide if it's shady or not, okay? So stick around for that. Here it is. This is Blake arriving. No florals in sight, but she's at the premiere. Now, what you can see is behind these barracks back here is the normal fans, and then I believe these are the pre-approved fans, people that know her, that have worked with her, people that are vetted, because I don't think they want any of the public going near her, and I don't blame them, you know what I mean? Like, this is just the way it is. But then again, there are people out there that want to know what, everyone really thinks about this case that's happening. It's one of the most bizarre cases in entertainment news, and this is one of the first times Blake has kind of done anything public. Here's Anna Kendrick on the red carpet.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Great. All right, so taking this on after directing, did that change your approach to acting?
It's funny. I'm so happy that I was working with Paul Feig, who had worked with before, and John Schwartzman, the DP, some of the same team, because I do think that if I went into acting right after directing, the team might be like, oh boy,
We're happy you're answering questions about the movie, and that's the reason we're all here. But could you tell us about Blake Lively?
She directs one thing, and she thinks she knows everything. And because I'd worked with them before, they were like, oh, she's just nosy. She's just like that. That's just her obnoxious personality. I guess it didn't really. I've just always been like, what's going on there? What are you doing over there? Just in everybody's business, like a nosy weirdo with ADHD. So.
Okay.
All right, so nothing there, but we're going to get to the clip. Let's go to the protest. Here's the Justice for Justin Baldoni protest here, posted by Variety. This went super viral. People were sending me this while I was in Costco. This was a big deal. So there it is. And this is a protester. Now, we know the protester. She's actually a great content creator. She's yelling, Justice for Justin Baldoni. She's right there. Let's have a listen. So there it is. Justice for Justin Baldoni. Nice border there on the poster. Good font size. Nice T-shirt. She just knocks it out of the park. So this is Citizen Journalist. I'm sorry. No, I have this wrong. This is Colonel Kurtz. Hold on. We're going to get to Citizen Journalist next. But here's what Colonel Kurtz had to say. I made Variety's Twitter, y'all. I was the only Justice for Justin protester out here at Another Simple Favor. And yes, I got footage of Blake Lively and some great crowd interviews. Follow and subscribe. Yeah, go give her a follow. She's on YouTube. She's broke that story with the a Freakonomics podcast where they unearthed the audio of Ari Emanuel. So she's doing great stuff here. And top news story on Daily Mail, Variety. She's all over the place. Now, sadly, here's what she needs. Next time, put a little link there. Put a little QR code for your podcast. Come on, you know what I mean? You got to put a little QR code so you can get some love on your podcast. It's like if they want to use you in their images, they got to get through the QR code. That's what you got to make them feel the pain. So either way, good work. She styled herself. She said, who wore it best? I think it's great. She's got a nice spandex in case it gets chilly there with some, looks like she's ready to play pickleball after. This is fantastic. So anyway, great work. Really happy to see some people that we know going out there and exercising their First Amendment rights. That's what they're allowed to do. She didn't throw eggs at Blake. She just stood there and shared her opinion. Here's what she had to say. So truthfully, Blake Lively got an enthusiastic reception by the crowd, just like the other actors did. I'm actually shocked the DM is making so much of my protest. Daily Mail is making so much of my protest because in person it came across as a big joke. It was mostly a way to get people to go on camera for the interviews I did. I got some cool street interviews outside the venue. You can see it all in my videos the next day or two. So very much looking forward to the interviews she got, and of course we'll be pushing people in that direction. She said, I've been made aware that the person that that's completely different. All right, so let's continue. Here's what citizen journalists had to say. Today, while the public is screaming to be heard on our distaste for this person, Blake Lively, and on a day where she had a perfectly reasonable and very public excuse to make a pass of walking this red carpet, Blake Lively walked a red carpet populated entirely of approved fans, vetted journalists, and media-prepped co-stars. Oh, sorry, you guys can't read all this. Media vetted co-stars who are all there on the condition that they play by Blake Lively's rules and may not have all the answers on why Blake has the stranglehold on Hollywood that has motivated so many to bend over backwards to do her bidding. But even without the why, the what is plain as day. Blake Lively is the powerful one. Stop thinking you can sell this lie to us. Now, I completely agree that Blake Lively is the powerful one. I don't know if there was some coordinated effort to not talk about this, other than all of the PR are going to say, don't talk about this. But we're going to share what Anna Kendrick had to say. So why don't we go to that right now? Here's Anna Kendrick. I've got 2 clips of her dodging Blake Lively's conversation. Hold on. How do you get to the audio here? This one's on Facebook.
Blake again.
Oh, talking about you all day.
Oh my God.
Come on. Get it in selfie mode. Be prepared.
So that's all they said is, how does it feel to work with Blake again? And she said, oh, you know. But we have another clip. Here's the really good one. Here's Variety, also on the red carpet, interviewing Anna Kendrick, where she shuts down the Blake Lively question. So how these interviews work is you got to get all of the questions in. What do you feel about the movie? How is it directing? Blah, blah, blah. And at the very end, when they're on their last ropes, that's when you throw in the Blake Lively question. That way, if it doesn't go well, you already got all of your other content. This is the dessert after the main course.
So now the other thing I want to ask you, how do you feel like how does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world?
Why, what happened? I did ayahuasca, and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
I like it. Now, was it a dick move by Anna Kendrick? Yes, but the question is, who's the dick move towards? Is it towards Variety or is it towards Blake Lively for basically, being a stain on an otherwise good night? Now, multiple things to address here. If Blake Lively's telling the truth, we got to start with this conditional if. If she's telling the truth, then it's horrible that our co-stars have to deal with all of these questions when they don't want to be getting into all the weeds and the thick of things and the lawsuits. They just want to support the movie. If Blake's lying, then you got to be really annoyed because, Anna Kendrick, she's a superstar. And by the way, her response here, pitch perfect, right? So Anna Kendrick's already a superstar in her own right. You might not love her, know all the stuff she's done, but she's directing now. She's a lead actress. She's been in huge, huge movies. I would argue she's a bigger star than Blake Lively, even if, I don't know, maybe she doesn't have as much brand recognition right now. I don't know. But you might say, no, she does. Either way, they're completely different is my point. She's Anna Kendrick. And by the way, Anna Kendrick is the, cute, attractive, but also quirky lead. And Blake Lively's the, she's the a standard Hollywood lead, right? And I wonder if there's any friction there in Anna Kendrick type, maybe wondering if she's had to climb up the ladder, in a different direction than Blake maybe was carried up the ladder, as it were. So interesting stuff. So we already got that response. I wanted to play for you what Paul Feig had to say. Here's the director. This is actually pissing a lot of people off. But again, he's allowed his opinion. So here he is, the director of this movie, and he's directed a ton of other movies, right? Huge, famous director. And here is his response to, supporting Blake Lively.
You've been so vocal and supportive of everything going on with Blake, everything. Why is it so important for you to kind of stand up for her and be that voice in public?
Because she's amazing. She's amazing. This is my second movie with Blake. I love working with her. She's the most amazing collaborator, so smart. She and Anna are just 2 of the smartest actors I've ever worked with who just like to get in there. And we get, every movie star has opinions about what they're doing. I haven't not worked with one who doesn't want to get in there and work on stuff and make it better with me, and that's our process. And so I love that Blake works that way. I love that Anna works that way, and it's just a great way. It's the only way to work. I'm not a guy who's like, just say it the way I wrote it. No, I don't think good movies come out of that. So
congratulations. Have fun tonight.
And of course, let's go to Paul Feig right here, just so people can see on IMDb. Paul Feig has done tons of stuff. And I think the point here is, multiple things can be true. She can respect Paul Feig because he's an illustrious director, actor. I mean, blockbuster movies, Ghostbusters, The Heat, right? That movie made a ton of money. Heavyweights, Freaks and Geeks. The guy has been around literally forever. Whether you've heard of him or not, he is extremely well respected. Look at his IMDb. Insane in the Membrane. So my point being is this: you can have a good experience with someone and not trigger the response that might lead to them being a bad version of themselves. Point in case here, Justin Baldoni is a younger director, and he's a younger actor. So it could be seen, if Blake Lively is in the movie It Ends With Us, where she feels like it's not going in the right direction, she feels like he's not listening to her, maybe his directorial style is abrasive to her, maybe Ryan Reynolds is telling her you need more control, or Taylor Swift is, and whatever's going on, that can all be the case, and it can trigger a sort of fight or flight response, really, and trigger a very hostile response by Blake Lively, where she's being told no. And she's being told no in multiple ways by Justin Baldoni. She's being told no on how they're going to shoot the movie, if she needs to stand on this line versus that line, rewriting scenes. And he did his best to help her be collaborative, but there was just things he couldn't sort of budge on, right? Especially with it being a smaller movie, can't change scenes around, can't really work around her schedule, those types of things. So the diva may have emerged from Blake in the It Ends With Us in a way that it didn't in this other Favor movie, right? But at the same time, even if Blake was difficult to work with, if the final product is good for Paul Feig, why the hell would he comment on the It Ends With Us scandal? So you might say, well, Paul Feig's not, sticking up for, Justin. Yeah, of course not. He's as self-indulgent as anybody else. He's only going to be worried about how she acted when she was on his set and nothing more than that. Would he work with Blake again? Yeah. And to be quite honest, this really annoys people when I say this. When I say, oh, Blake's going to work after this. Hello, look at this. They're able to curate a premiere where they're able to select who gets to talk to her, and the protester, God bless Colonel, is not, while it's a side story for the gossip and everything, it's not going to affect the movie one iota. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be out there sharing your truth and all that, and I think what Colonel Kurtz did was a fantastic thing to again, just share her opinions and where she's at and all that jazz. But how is this going to affect Blake Lively's career? I say this before and I'll say it again. Justin Baldoni has a hell of a lot more to lose. People have made their opinion about Blake. So if Blake wins this, but there's still a gray area, I don't think many people are going to change their opinion unless there's some new evidence that comes out. But if Blake goes through the depositions and all the processes, it's not going to look good for her. So at this point, I think if you're Blake, you do anything you can to get out of this court case. But again, if you're Justin Baldoni, that's not going to happen without an apology. When I've talked to all of my lawyer friends who say there's a 99% chance this settles, boy, it makes you really wonder how big that 1% chance is getting, because I don't know if it's going to go in that direction. So I know I've kind of presented both sides of the argument here. I'm torn. And by the way, we are here trying our best to be as sort of straight down the middle with this case while also sharing an opinion. Is that possible? Can I present Blake's side with also sharing my opinion? We'll try. But either way, the slam pieces are coming out. Blake's hired the CIA agent, and it looks like his work is starting to emerge about a week or so after she hired him, the ex-CIA PR guy. And I'm going to share the nothing burger of an article that was written, and we'll have that story next.